Mm. Boy. There's always these haters that's Atlanta Falcons fans who are supposed to support and that everything is a process. That no one player on a particular defense or offense is suffering or can be good on this team without a cohesive unit. All right, let me get one thing straight. Let me tell y'all one thing, man. You come at me, guess what? I'm gonna come right back at you. And you might not like what I have to say, but it is what it is. But what I do on this channel, and I've said this over and over again, if you want my personal opinion on things, ask for my personal opinion. But my initial goal is to tell everybody and to give everybody facts and not my personal opinion. All right? It's not about me. It's about providing people with the truth. And I'm not going to get on here. I'm not going to get on Facebook, Twitter, or any other place and tell y'all some bullshit that's not backed up by facts. Now, you don't have to like Trufant. You don't have to like Matt Ryan. You don't even have to like Julio Jones. All right? You don't have to like any one of those guys. But what you're not going to do is come in and tell me that I'm biased, okay? I've never been accused of being biased. Never been biased. I don't buy into the bias shit, all right? I don't buy into it. How you doing, Kelly? I'm good, man. I'm good, baby. How you doing? But yes, one thing about me, I try my best to give everyone the proper tools and proper information. And that's what I do. That's what Mad Mike is all about. Mad Mike Sports is all about providing people with the truth and honesty, and you don't have to like it. All right, you don't have to like it, but you have to respect it. All right, you're gonna respect my gangster. Okay, you're gonna respect it. And what we're not going to do is come on and continue to go back and forth, call people names. All right, not gonna do that. All right, I don't come at you any old type of way. You don't come at me any other type of way. If we can have a respectful talk, we can do that. But. All right, Matt Mike Sports, Desmond Trufant is the issue, and I'm here to provide people with the truth, man. All right, and the truth of the matter about Desmond Trufant is no. All right, he can't do it all on his own. No one person can do it all on his own. When you look at the defense in its entirety, all right, and this Um, you can go back to Lawrence Taylor days. You can go back to Derek Thomas. You can even go back to Michael Strahan. All right, Michael Strahan. Even the Fearsome Foursome. All right, the L.A. Rams. All right, with Deacon Jones. Deacon Jones didn't do it all on his own. He had help. All right, you look at Deion Sanders, probably the greatest cornerback of all time, and Deion Sanders could not get it done without a proper base around him. Deion Sanders only became a Hall of Famer. He only became a Hall of Famer and a champion when he left the Atlanta Falcons. Why? Because the Atlanta Falcons didn't have the necessary tools so he could shine. All right. Deion Sanders wasn't a Hall of Famer until he moved away from the Atlanta Falcons. I know that might hurt a lot of Atlanta Falcons' feelings. All right. But soon as Deion got those two championships, all right. Soon as Deion Sanders got those two championships, he became a Hall of Famer. So when you look at it, man, no one player on a particular team, all right, no one player can do it all on his own. When you look at the secondary, all right, the first key and most important key for a successful secondary is a defensive line that is consistent. If you can't get consistent pressure from up front, guess what? That means your defensive backs have to, they must. Okay, they must cover for at least 5 seconds. And the way these guys are running 4-2, 4-3, some guys even running a 4 flat. All right, these guys are fast. These guys are absolutely burners, man. And no one cornerback in this league, especially under these rules, you can't touch the guys. No one cornerback is going to be an elite cornerback. No one corner is going to put up because this, like I said before, the Atlanta Falcons issue this year, and this is why we're 7-9. All right, this is two reasons why we're 7-9. The Falcons couldn't stop the run, and the Falcons could not get consistent pressure on their defensive side of the ball. All right, those are two main keys. And I can throw in injuries, but I'm not going to use injuries. All right, those were the two main keys why the Atlanta Falcons defense struggled. All right, the offense had to actually, they really had to put the ball in Matt Ryan's hand on the offensive side of the ball. If it wasn't for Matt Ryan, this is a 4-12 team, easy. This is a 4-12 team, easy, without Matt Ryan. All right. So when you look at it, you look at Desmond Trufant, who did not have, under the circumstances, he did not have an elite year. What some may call an elite year. No, he didn't have. When you look at what he had in the secondary, had a rookie cornerback, Isaiah Oliver, Robert Alford, a cornerback that had his worst year as a professional and ultimately was released. All right, Robert Alford was ultimately released. You have a free safety, a first-year starter, and DeMonte Casey, who did fairly well. All right, DeMonte Casey led the league in interception. He did fairly well, but this guy's still a rookie. He's still a rookie cornerback / safety. And you look at this strong safety position, it's been a revolving door at strong safety all freaking year. Jordan Richards, the Falcons traded for him for a 7th-round pick from the Patriots. That did not do well. All right, and they had Sherrod Neesman, a guy that they released and brought back multiple times. All right, he filled in that strong safety. So the Falcons have had a revolving door at strong safety all year long. All right, so all you people, want to bash Desmond Trufant, because he's not putting up elite numbers. All right, tell me how you can put up elite numbers when you're playing with trash. All right, at strong safety. All right, the Falcons play in the cover 3, and I keep telling people over and over. I keep saying this over and over again, and I'm gonna over and over again until you realize what a cover 3 is. Don't come back and tell me about Desmond Trufant. Why is he giving up, 5 yards, 7 yards every single pass? Clearly, you guys have no idea what the hell a cover 3 is. All right, a cover 3. And I'm going to continue to say this. A cover 3 for a cornerback, his first priority is to cover the deep ball. That means he gives up at least the first 5 to 7 yards. At least the 5 to 7 yards. He gives that up. Why? It's because the linebackers, the strong side linebacker and the middle linebacker, safeties, they are the ones who take care of everything underneath. And for one, Deion Jones is the guy who takes everything underneath. He is the best corner linebacker in the league. And when he's not there, everything underneath and everyone else looks much worse than what it is. So when you look at the Falcons defense, and I continue to say this over and over again, Desmond Trufant, unless he's playing in man, unless he's playing a cover 2, that's not his first priority. His first priority is to cover the deep ball. It's called a cover 3. Both corners take the deep third, all right, the deep third on the sideline, and the free safety takes everything in the middle. All right, everything in the middle. They take away the deep ball. This is what a cover 3 is. All right, this is what a cover 3 is, people. And the strong safety, linebacker, and strong side linebacker are the ones who take care of everything underneath. So when you see a lot of receptions being Thrown a lot of receptions being thrown underneath to Robert Alford or even Desmond Trufant. It's because of one or two things. The linebackers aren't reading the play right, or the Falcons' defensive line is not getting to the quarterback. All right, and this is why. All right, the Falcons play the most cover three in the NFL. Right, ever since 2015, the Falcons always, all right, they lead the league in cover three. So guys, I implore you guys to go on YouTube. All right, you're already on YouTube right now. Go to YouTube, type in cover three, and learn. And maybe you will understand why I continue to side with Desmond Trufant. Why I continue to say that Robert Alford wasn't as bad, as it seems, man. Because, like I said before, Robert Alford did have his worst year. All right, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He did have his worst year as a Falcon and as a player. Period. He was horrible, but the Falcon scheme, all right, the cover three scheme is set up for corners to give up a certain amount of yards. All right, if a cornerback is giving up the deep ball, which Robert Alford was prone to do, and he's getting a ton of penalties, all right, that's how you determine whether or not a corner is struggling. And Desmond Trufant has his second lowest yard per reception of his career. All right, he had his second lowest. The first 2 years, he was averaged at 12 yards a reception. All right, 12 yards, and he had his second lowest. He had his second lowest. All right, second lowest. First few years, you can go look at it. In fact, I will post it in the community tab. All right, everything that pertains to Desmond Trufant, I will have all this in the community tab so you guys can see it for yourself. All right, so all you people that look at PFF top 25, look, that's an average. All right, that's an average of a cornerback's total game. There are aspects of the game that PFF doesn't. They don't give to the public. You have to buy. You actually have to buy, and this motherfucker do this shit every day. I'm sorry. Okay, man, Mike back up. Okay, I'm good. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, PFF, unless you pay for it, man, unless you pay for it, you cannot get these information, these stats. All right, you have to pay for these stats. All right, and like I said, I got a boy, and the real Patman, he will give me all the stats. All right, he will give me all the stats, and like I said before, I don't talk just completely out of my own personal opinion. If you guys want my personal opinion, I'm gonna give it to you, but I post facts, man. All right, so a lot of you guys, you don't have to like Trufant. You don't like to help. You don't have to like Matt Ryan. But what? All right, you will come to me if you're gonna have a conversation with me. Come with facts. Don't say I'm biased because personally you believe that Desmond Trufant is trash. All right, that's opinion. That's an opinion. Stats that prove your opinion because I'm gonna come with stats that prove my opinion. All right. So we're not gonna do this. That's not what we do here. If you guys want to go back and forth, with your personal opinion or who you think is trash, look, I think Tom Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of this generation, and other people think he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Look, that's my opinion of Tom Brady. I think he's overrated. I think Tom Brady benefits from Bill Belichick and his defense. All right, that's just my opinion. I don't think Tom Brady is as great as everyone thinks he is. All right, other people think that Dan Marino is the greatest quarterback of all time. Some people think Michael Vick is one of the greatest Falcons quarterbacks of all time. Is the greatest Falcon quarterback of all time. I highly disagree with that. But that's all opinion. That's all opinion, man. But like I said before, man, I appreciate everybody in, man. Kelly, Z Right Bar, Ghost Peppers, Terrence Holmes, Joseph. What's up, man? Appreciate it. Trufant is important. Even if we did get rid of him, he wouldn't be easy to replace. Trufant is a vital part of what this defense is. What the defense needs. All right, what Dan Quinn needs, he needs guys that are intelligent, who can play their position well, and they understand assignments. And this is what Desmond Trufant is. All right, when you look at Desmond Trufant is one of the least penalized corners in the NFL. All right, this is huge. Why? It's because when you get penalties, and we all know from Robert Alford missed the penalty, and this is the reason why he was cut. He led the team in defense 5 of his 6 years in Atlanta. All right, 5 of his 6 years in Atlanta because he had poor technique. And Desmond Trufant, year after year, is always one of the least penalized corners. All right, and he has horrible hands. I'm not gonna pretend like the dude doesn't have horrible hands. Desmond Trufant has stone hands, bro. He has stone hands. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like this guy's in the terrific corner. His technique is one of the best. It's one of the best. Technique-wise, he's one of the best corners. All right. So when you look at it, man, no, Desmond Trufant may not be your best. He may not be your favorite. Why? Because a lot of people today, they enamored with interceptions, and turnovers, all right, and guys who can get pick sixes and whatnot. Everybody love the pretty play, but nobody wants to look at the batted balls. When he gets his hand tipped, how he looks at it, or the quarterback looks his way, and he throws another direction because Desmond Trufant has, excellent coverage. Nobody looks at stuff like that. Those are small things that coaches and people who watch film understand. So there's much more to, it's much more to playing cornerback, and defense. It just meets the eye. All right. So all you people, when you look at Desmond Trufant, and we look at a corner, when you look at, yeah, it's just irritate Mad Mike Day today. Just irritate Mad Mike today. He did all that just to go in one straight line. Yeah. People with these nice cars these days, they do dumb shit. Like showing out for no reason. Ain't nobody around, but he's burning out and shit. Ain't nobody paying attention, but he's burning out. Yeah, I guess it's irritate Mad Mike Day. But yeah, man. Like I said before, Trufant, man. There's a lot of people that think he's trash because he doesn't do a lot of doesn't have a lot of flash plays. You can count on one hand that, how many flashy plays that Desmond Trufant has. When you look at playing corner, like I said, it's a number of things that, the average fan doesn't pay attention to. Does he cause the quarterback to second guess? All right, because he has excellent coverage. Yes, Desmond Trufant does. He does that. Does he get batted balls? Yes, Desmond Trufant does that. All right, he's done that year after year. Is he one of the corners in the NFL that doesn't get a ton of holding penalties, a ton of pass interference plays? Yeah, Desmond Trufant is one of the least penalized corners in the league. So when you look at it, man, it's much more than playing defensive back to just interceptions and pick six. And to be honest, a lot of people in the NFL can't tell me what Robert Alford. All right, what Robert Alford has done the last 2 years. The guy haven't had a pick in 2 years. Yet they still think, the Falcons should have kept him and got rid of Trufant. And another thing about Desmond Trufant and his money, and I tell people, I hear people say this all the time. Desmond Trufant is not playing, elite. He's not playing up to his contract. Well, he doesn't have to pay up to his contract. No cornerback or no player in this league gets paid elite or outside of their market value. All right? So it doesn't matter what I feel like he's worth. It doesn't matter what you feel like he's worth. All right? It is about the market value. And market value is what Trufant is getting paid. Cornerbacks and players are cut or traded is because their play on the field declines. All right? And Desmond Trufant, for the most part, has always, okay? Desmond Trufant has always played up to his capabilities, all right? There are aspects in the team that we still look at, and you have to say, Desmond Trufant can't do it without a pass rush. Desmond Trufant can't do it if the defensive line can't stop anyone. All right, so you have to take that in effect. So it's a lot of aspects in the game whether you have to take into account, man. You can't just look at one person on the team and say, okay, Deion Jones sucks, all right, Vic Beasley sucks, or Desmond Trufant sucks, all right. Cornerbacks and the secondary needs a strong defensive line. Linebackers need a strong defensive line. All right, the secondary needs a lot of help from the linebackers in coverage. So there's a ton of aspects of the game that we all need to make this defense a top 5 defense. And this is why the Falcons have to go address the defensive line. They have an excellent secondary. They have one of the deepest secondaries in the league. All right, Keanu Neal, Desmond Trufant, Isaiah Oliver, DeMonte Casey, Ricardo Allen. Those guys are damn good. That's 5 defensive backs. 5 quality defensive backs. And linebacker. You have Deion Jones. He's the best cover linebacker in the league. This guy's Deion Jones. His coverage, according to PFF, he has one of the highest, cover ratings in the league. He's up there with cornerbacks and safeties. This is how good this guy's been. Deion Jones is vital to this team in coverage. He takes away a lot from underneath. All right? Drew Brees knows that. You throw anything near Deion Jones, it could be a pick 6 at any time. So this is another aspect. Like I said, man, this is a lot of aspects of the game that people have to take into account when you look at individual players. And this is why I'm an advocate for Vic Beasley. People hate Vic Beasley, okay? People can't stand Vic Beasley. Why? Because he hasn't been consistent. But you can't just look at Vic Beasley and say, okay, the Falcons, need to let him go because he hasn't had another 10-sack season, all right? I mean, we have no idea what Vic Beasley is. Why? It's because the Falcons, they haven't made their mind up what Vic Beasley is going to be. They don't know if he's going to be a linebacker or he's going to be a defensive end. For the last 3 years, since 2016, the Falcons have no idea what Vic Beasley is going to play. This guy's been rotating between outside linebacker and defensive end for the last 3 years, and we're sitting up here talking about why Vic Beasley's struggling. Well, he don't know exactly what he is. And to be honest, and I've said this over and over again, Vic Beasley is more of a strong side linebacker, a guy that can be a pass rush. He was never a defensive end, man. He was never a defensive end. So when it all comes down to it, man, Falcons fans, all I'm imploring you guys to do is take your time, do your homework, do your research before making yourself look stupid. All right. Do your homework before making yourself look stupid. All right. Terrence, Joseph, I appreciate everybody for coming in, man. You guys don't have any questions, gotta protect Matt better first. The way you can protect Matt Ryan better is just run the ball. It really is that simple. You have to run the ball and use play action. This is the reason why the Rams were so bad in the Super Bowl, because they had absolutely no running game. Had they had a running game to combat what the Patriots was doing with the blitzing almost every play against Jared Goff, and the game was close. But had they had a running game with Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson, they could have made more plays and took more shots downfield with not Todd Gurley, but with Jared Goff. Falcons have to get back to the running game, and that's utilizing. We did a poor job of utilizing Tevin Coleman. Sark was horrible at play calling. Falcons hardly ran the ball on first down. They pretty much they led the league actually in first down passing. All right, they were dead last in first down runs. Dead last, 32nd in the NFL on first down runs. That's horrible. This is the reason why guys like Ryan Schrader struggled so much. It's because the team knew that the Falcons were going to pass on first down. So all they would do is just send blitzes because they knew it was coming. These are the things that you don't see when you're watching team. The average fan doesn't see when they're watching the game. Go back and watch the film. Like I said before, man, it's a ton of games. All right, the Falcons have highlights, and they have all you have to do is go back and look at the stats, man. Look at the stats and look at the film. And don't lie. They do not lie. All right, the Falcons desperately need to get back to running the ball. And this is the reason why they brought in Mike Mularkey. Mike Mularkey is a run specialist, all right? He utilized the power run and play action. And we all know that Matt Ryan is one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to having a run game and using that play action. This is what Matt Ryan does. He's done it his entire career. All right, so Matt Ryan has time. Good. He's gonna get that ball out. He's gonna make the right decision. So we have to protect Matt Ryan by utilizing the running game and getting Devontae Freeman back this year, a healthy Devontae Freeman. Perhaps bringing in a guy like Elijah Holyfield or Ito Smith. The Falcons running game will be much better this year. I expect it to be much better. But yes, Keenan. The Falcons definitely need guard to upgrade the guard. I think Wes Schweitzer fits the inside zone scheme much better, so I expect the Falcons to do a lot of that. But like I said before, man, look, Falcons just have to get back to running the ball, man. They can't continue to pass the ball, 60, 70% of the time. It has to be a balance. This is why Dan Quinn always preaches balance. The Falcons have to get back to running the ball. And last year I thought they abandoned that. As soon as Devontae Freeman got hurt, the Falcons just abandoned the run. They didn't use Sark, did not use Tevin Coleman and Ito the correct way. And this is the reason why he was fired, all right? He didn't use his players the right way. So it's not all on, it really isn't all on the players. Those guys weren't set up to succeed. And this is what you have to do with players, man. You have to put them in position to succeed. And again, I know I made a video earlier about Marco Emmanuel. And people call me crazy about Marco Emmanuel. Say I was biased about Marco Emmanuel, that he was set up to fail. No, Marco Emmanuel couldn't put players in the right position to succeed, like a Vic Beasley, like a Grady Jarrett, or like the DJ not. He was completely discombobulated. Had no clue on how to get guys in the right position to play, particularly his secondary. The secondary was soft. They played a lot of soft zone. All right, they played a lot of soft zone. I mean, it was. You guys can attest to this. There were times that Grady Jarrett would drop into coverage, and they would have two people rushing. Okay, two people rushing. That means 9 guys are in coverage, and they still completed the pass. These are the things that Marco Emmanuel did. Not playing enough man coverage. Playing way too much zone. And this is why teams like Cleveland, Cincinnati, those games, they put up big, huge numbers against us. They destroyed our secondary. Because they played a ton of soft zone. These are the things you have to look at when you're watching film. You have to mix up coverage, man. You can't have freaking Denis and not and expect the Falcons to succeed. Okay? These are the reason why he got fired. There's so much things to this game, man, than just meets the eye. It really is, man. Kenny, he's not worth $12 million. Really doesn't matter what you or I say. Desmond Trufant is getting paid market value. It does not matter what we say. All right, there's no such thing as a guy getting elite money because it's not. It's whatever that team feels a specific player is worth to them. Market value. If a guy with a similar stat line as Desmond Trufant is getting $13 million, has a similar stat line than that guy, guess what? Desmond Trufant is going to get 13 million. And when you look at the stats and Desmond Trufant's stats, it is aligned near the top guys. Now, maybe he isn't as consistent as those guys from week to week, but like I said, that is many things. There's many aspects in the game that goes to cornerbacks and defensive linemen being inconsistent. All right, so it's much more than just all right. We feel like he's not worth $13 million. Well, it doesn't matter what we think. The market says Desmond Trufant is his play is worth $13 million, and that's what the Falcons are giving him. And when his play started to diminish, the Falcons feel like he isn't worth it. Guess what? Desmond Trufant is either going to have to restructure his contract or he's going to be cut. And right now, the Falcons still have him on the roster. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. So guess what? Obviously, the Falcons feel like he is worth it. Obviously, the Falcons felt like Robert Alford wasn't worth the $9 million. And guess what? He got cut. So you're not going to get what you're worth. If the team feel like you're not worth it anymore, they're going to get rid of you. It doesn't matter if you're a quarterback, all right? They'll take that $13 or $14 million dead cap hit, to just get rid of you. And right now, Desmond Trufant is still on this team, and he's going to stay. Terrence Holmes, I keep saying that Tevin was at his use more of a receiver. Yeah, that's another aspect of the game that I thought Steve Sarkisian was horrible at. We all know that Tevin Coleman is one of the best receiving running backs in the league, all right? This guy is deadly in the open field. Just split him out wide, he can make things. He can take a 5-yard out, just like Alvin Kamara, a 5-yard wheel route to the house. And for whatever reason, Steve Sarkisian did not use this guy as a receiver. All right, he did not use this guy as a receiver. I have no idea why the hell he did not do it. This guy was horrible at play calling. He used, even though Austin Hooper had a tremendous season, a Pro Bowl season, I still feel as though that he did not use Austin Hooper well. Austin Hooper was primarily a guy that, he can make plays, but he was like the third or fourth option. He was like the fourth option. And Austin Hooper is one of the better tight ends in the NFC, in the league. And he wasn't used well. This is the reason why he was fired. He could not get guys, utilize players' talent. What do you think we should do with Tico? I think you need a guy like him to back up Freeman in case something happens. This is what the Falcons are going more towards the inside running zone scheme. They still utilize some outside zone scheme, but they're primarily are going to use a ton of inside zone running scheme. This is what they did under Kyle Shanahan. The Falcons use a ton. They use outside running zone schemes, but for the most part, under Kyle Shanahan, they use a ton of inside zone running scheme, which is not Desmond, but Devontae Freeman's strength. This is his strength, man. So expect to see a lot more inside runs, particularly in short yardage and goal line situations, because Ito Smith is terrific in short yardage situations. He's built like Devontae Freeman. I expect them to go out and get a bigger back so they can kind of use more power sets and whatnot. Well rounded, man. They're going to be well rounded, and they will completely. I want to say I wouldn't change everything. The offense is going to have the same principles and same plays and whatnot, but the play calling, as far as the running game, will change for sure. That's for sure. Kenny Lord, he didn't bring not what to do with Duke Riley. Again, people, we got to stop trying to look for guys to be all pro. Duke Riley is never a all pro. Duke Riley was brought in to be a piece. He wasn't brought in to be a star. Okay? When you draft guys outside the first round, these guys are pieces. They are pieces to the puzzle. And Duke Riley was brought in to be a piece of the puzzle. He wasn't brought in, he wasn't drafted to be a star. You hope guys turn out to be stars. All right? Grady Jarrett in the fifth round, no one would have said that, okay, we drafted Grady Jarrett to be a star. Just so happened that Grady Jarrett came out to be a star. You look at the Patriots. They didn't draft Tom Brady in the seventh round and say, oh, God, we got a star in the seventh round. Who the hell says that? Who the hell drafts a guy in the first and the seventh round and say he's going to be a star? Who the hell drafts a defensive tackle in the fifth round and says he's going to be a star? Nobody. So if you're not in the first round, if you haven't been picked in the first round, all right, and you're struggling, guess what? 9 times out of 10, you may be a bust. All right? Maybe a bust. And this is why I say I soften my, stance on Vic Beasley is because he hasn't lived up to what the Falcons expected. They expected him, they drafted him to be a star, and he's not that star. And right now, you can't give him the money. You can't give him $12 million because he hasn't earned that star status. And this is why he may be traded. So when you look at Duke Riley, Duke Riley was I believe his second or third round. You don't draft a guy in second and third round and say this guy going to be a star. You hope this guy be a star. Anyone in the first round, all right, those guys are expected to be a star. So let's stop with Duke Riley. All right, Duke Riley is a piece. He's a piece of the puzzle. Anyone outside of the first round is a piece of the puzzle. And Duke Riley is not a freaking star. He was never a star. He was a guy that had tremendous athleticism, and the Falcons took a chance on him because they believe they can make him to something. So let's get off Duke Riley, man. All right, he struggles, but he was never a guy to come in to be a superstar. He was never that. All right, he was never a star at LSU. How the hell we expect him to come to the NFL and expect him to be a starter when he was a backup behind Deion Jones? We expect a backup at LSU to be a star in the NFL. Like, people, stop it. Your expectations are just way too high for certain players. Even Jalen Collins, all right? Jalen Collins was drafted in the second round. But like I said, if you aren't drafted in the first round, everyone that's drafted in the first round is expected to be stars. You expect these guys to be a franchise player. Anything outside of the first round, you are not. You're a piece of the puzzle. And that's what Deion Jones, that's what Duke Riley was. He's a piece of the puzzle. Someone has to play special team because we don't want Deion Jones and Keon O'Neal playing special team. So guess what? Duke Riley has to do that. Foye Oluokun has to do that. They are pieces of the puzzle, man. And that's how you win championships. And this is why the teams like Pittsburgh, even the Rams, you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Patriots, all these guys, they have pieces of the puzzle. He was brought in to be. He was brought in to spell Deion Jones and to be a backup. So, like I said before, man, we just have to stop with these unrealistic expectations for players. Like, I want everyone to succeed, but at the same time, we just really have to stop with these. We have to stop with these. Deion Duke Riley sucks because he isn't Deion Jones. All right. He will never be Deion Jones. Okay, that doesn't mean he totally suck ass. He needs to improve, but he doesn't totally suck ass. Uh, Tevin can block too. Freeman getting killed when he tries to. Absolutely false. Absolutely false. The narrative of Devontae Freeman can't block is completely false. Why? People blow up one play in the Super Bowl where he missed a block, all right, and equate and say that just because he missed that one key block that he can't block. Tevin Coleman, okay, lost his third down duties this season because he could not block. All right? He lost his duties to Ito Smith, a rookie running back. And we saying that he's a better blocker? He lost his job to a rookie on third downs because he couldn't block. He couldn't block for Matt Ryan. They benched Tevin Coleman. They benched Tevin Coleman this season because he could not block. He couldn't pick up the blitz. Yeah, that's a total false narrative. Just because a guy missed a key block in one of the most important games of any one of our lives doesn't mean he can't block. Devontae Freeman was the starter for a reason. And it wasn't solely just because he's an excellent runner. He's a much better blocker than Tevin Coleman. He just doesn't have the size. So oftentimes when you see him, it looks worse than what it is because he's so small. So you can't put Devontae Freeman in those situations. But the narrative that Tevin Coleman is a much better blocker than Devontae Freeman is absolutely false. I mean, Tevin Coleman lost his job. Like I said, Tevin Coleman, in fact, lost his job as a third down back, which is one of the reasons why he did not have a lot of plays to get out as a receiver, is because he couldn't block. They couldn't trust him to be out there on third down to block for Matt Ryan, to pass for Matt Ryan, all right, on passing downs for Matt Ryan. All right, he was benched for Ito Smith. Ito Smith took over that job before he got injured. So, yeah, the narrative that Devontae Freeman is a poor blocker is just completely false. Freeman is a smaller guy, all right? That's it. Tay Biz, what's good, pimp? What do you think about cutting Vic to keep Tico? Man, stop. Stop all this cutting Vic shit. Like, people, stop it. Cutting Vic for Tevin Coleman? Y'all act like Vic Beasley is complete trash, man. The guy is not trash. There are like 10 other teams that are so ready for the Falcons to cut and trade Vic Beasley right now. There's so many teams that are ready for Vic Beasley to put him at outside linebackers in 34 scheme and let him just wreak havoc, just get after the quarterback. Y'all crazy as hell, people. You people are crazy as hell. If you think just Falcons are just going to cut Vic Beasley and get rid of him for nothing, man, please. Y'all crazy as crap. Vic Beasley in a 34 scheme will be a Pro Bowler, all right? In a 34 scheme, in a proper scheme, protected, Vic Beasley would easily be a 10-sack linebacker every single year. Put him with the Pittsburgh Steelers in that 34 scheme. I promise you, Vic Beasley will be a Pro Bowler. Promise you that. So there's so many aspects of the game, man, like for real, man. All right, just because a guy isn't getting the sack totals, all right, doesn't mean he's being utilized the correct way. And we all know, like we said before, Vic Beasley has been rotating for the last 3 years back and forth as defensive lineman and outside linebackers, all right? because the Falcons don't have the proper pieces in place to help make sure that Vic Beasley can do what he does best, and that's rush the passer. And that is tremendously affecting Vic Beasley, Tack McKinley, and Grady Jarrett. They need help up front, so we can maximize their ability, man. That's what it's all about, maximizing these guys' ability, man. So no, cutting Vic Beasley to keep Tico, like, come on, man, that's crazy. I'm not paying Tevin Coleman $30 million to be a backup running back. I mean, that's just crazy as hell, man. I mean, Tevin Coleman, I mean, you just touch this guy's foot, he's falling to the ground. And this guy's 230 pounds. He can run like hell, but this guy's 230 pounds. You touch his feet, he's falling to the ground. And we want to keep him and Trey and just cut Vic for nothing? Like, y'all crazy as hell, man. Terrence, man, um, and not like I said, I'm not a huge advocate of bullshit. I'm not a huge advocate of bull crap, man. And when you look at Desmond Trufant and what the Falcons, and I'm going to continue to say this over and over again, that um, the Falcons scheme is a cover three scheme. And his first responsibility is to take away the deep ball. Immediately, his first assignment is to take away the deep ball. The linebacker, the strong side linebacker, is responsible for the hook and the flat. The middle linebacker he has to take away the hook and the flat. All right? And the outside linebacker, the weak side linebacker, his first responsibility is to take away the hook and the flat. Okay? So guys, when you see Desmond Trufant giving up 5, 7 yards and everything is being completed in front of him, it's because the linebacker is not in his right position. The strong safety is not in his right position. Or the offense just made an excellent. But his first, unless he's in man and Desmond Trufant is giving up 5 to 7 yards and he's in man, all right, then it's his fault. But for the most part, the Falcons played 60%. This year they played about 50% of cover three. All right, almost for 50% of cover three, and like 42% of different variations of man zone. So, like I said before, man, the Falcons play a ton of cover three, and which is the first option for any cornerback in the cover three is to take away the deep ball first, and everything else in front of him he's responsible. The linebackers are responsible for. So let's get it right, man. All right, we got to get it right. Falcons fans, if you're gonna be fans, we got to get it right and understand what our scheme is, man. A lot of you guys don't know what the scheme is, and you're looking at the corners and saying the corner's giving up 5 yards every play, 7 yards every play. It's because he's supposed to. That's his job. He's supposed to do that. And the linebackers. This is the reason why the Falcons want fast and physical linebackers. It's because these guys can take away that short yard, make hits, and get the forced fumbles. This is the reason why, because they want to take away the deep ball first. That's the best. This is what Dan Quinn does. All right, this is what the 4-3 under is all about. Is to take away the short yard plays, the long plays first, so these guys can get around, tackle, and create those forced fumbles. All right, this is what the cover three is about. So when you look at it, man, you guys have to educate yourself on what the defense is. Really what the defense is all about, man. No, no. I don't know about that, man. Mike, the offense still not moving the way you should. It should have been still a top offense. Nah, bro. Um, they were a top offense. Anytime you guys, I mean, I think you're underestimating two things. Um, Anytime you are down your starting guards and your starting running back, your offense is going to struggle. I mean, even with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Muhammad Sue, and Austin Hooper, you still have to run the ball. And the Falcons just did not have a consistent run game. And partly because, we kind of overrated, had expectations for Tevin Coleman to be a star running back, which he wasn't. And that's the reason why the Falcons may be moving on with Tevin Coleman, because he didn't step up to be that runner. And it's not all his fault because, like I said, the Falcons they lost two of the starting guards. Name a team in the NFL that can lose their starting guards, all right? Two starting guards in a year and still have a successful running game. Just doesn't happen, all right? It really doesn't happen. So you guys, like, our expectations for this team, because we have tremendous skill players, you think we're supposed to be a top team because we have Julio, Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley? You still need a front. You still need a consistent offensive line who can run the ball. All right, have to have a game. You have to have a team that can run the ball, man. If you can't run the ball, it doesn't matter how explosive the players you have. You have to have a capable running game, and this is it's not because Tom Brady is Tom Brady. They had a tremendous offensive line, and they had a damn good running game. All right, these guys rushed for almost 200 yards in the Super Bowl. One of the most underrated aspects of an offense. You have to have the ability to run a game, to run the ball, and the Falcons did not have that this year. Did not have a game. Doesn't matter how many special players you have on the outside. If you can't protect Matt Ryan and you don't have an offensive running game, you're going to struggle, man. Might use your head. New England knew Tom Brady was a star. No, they did not. Stop, bruh. Like, stop. They knew Tom Brady was a star? Like, you guys gotta stop. Like, you guys really have to stop the bullshit. Alright? Stop the bullshit. Stop it. No one knew a seventh. Who the hell thinks a 7th round pick is gonna be? I mean, most of the time, even now today, when the 3rd or 4th round is over, most of you motherfuckers stop watching the drafts. We don't even pay attention past the 4th round. A lot of you guys don't even look at players. All right, you don't continue to even watch the drafts after the 3rd or 4th round. Most of you guys just stop watching, and you look at the updates. I see the post. The belt is boring after the first couple of rounds. You don't even know half of the players. So don't tell me that drafting a guy in the 7th round, Tom Brady, you knew he was going to be a star. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody knew Tom Brady was going to be a damn star being drafted in the 7th round. Man, everybody and their mama passed Tom Brady up. Get the fuck out of here. Man, stop, man. Get out of here. Nobody draft a quarterback in the 7th round and say he's going to be a star. Get the fuck out of here. Why risk someone else? Why risk taking a team taking Tom Brady if you knew he was going to be a star? Get the fuck out of here. You really saying that crap, man? New England knew Tom Brady was going to be a star? No, the fuck they didn't. If Bill Belichick knew that Tom Brady was going to be a star, I promise you he would have took him in the 1st round. So get the fuck out of here. All right, please. Stop, man. Y'all crazy. Antoine Smitty, it's not just Desmond Trufant, man. Robert Alford got a bad deal also. I mean, he could have played much better had he had a pass rush. All right, so I'm not going to sit here and bash a guy. Yes, Robert Alford, one of the main reasons why Robert Alford was um, released by the Falcons is not because he gave up a ton of yards here and there. It's that Robert Alford was the top penalized Falcon. All right, every single year. Every single year, he led this team in penalties. And on top of that, he wasn't getting any better. So with that, you can't be one of the top penalized guys in the league and continue to not improve. This is the reason why Robert Alford was traded. All right, not traded, but he was released. You can't do that. You got a guy in Isaiah Oliver that you're grooming, and if you're not getting any better, and you continuously getting penalized, leading the team and being one of the most penalized corners, not just corners, one of the most penalized defensive players in the league every single year, all right, this is why he's released. So every cornerback needs a pass rush. And that kind of added to what Robert Alford struggles, but he was more so released because he couldn't stop penalties, man. No cornerback and no cornerback can cover for over 4 or 5 seconds. Just not going to happen. These guys are too fast and they're too special athletes, man. Again, Tay Biggs, man. Again, you're wrong. Sorry. Sorry to bring it to you, but he was actually brought to be a backup. Um, why the Falcons? 60, about 60, close to almost 70% of the time the Falcons they are in nickel. So oftentimes they do not need uh, they don't need the weak side linebacker. The weak side linebacker in the Falcons scheme is actually on the bench. The strong side linebacker, Deion Jones, they only use two linebackers when they're nickel. All right, nickel. That's when you bring in the third cornerback, who is essentially the linebacker in this situation. So oftentimes, yeah, he's the backup. The weak side linebacker in this defense is the linebacker because the Falcons play nickel about 65, almost 70% of the time. So just understand what the Falcons scheme is, and you understand where I'm coming from with this. You got to all you have to do is just educate yourself, man. Just educate yourself on what the Falcons defense is. The Falcons play 60% of the time in nickel. Nickel, you don't have the weak side linebacker. It's the strong side linebacker, who is Devondre Campbell, and the middle linebacker, which is Deion Jones. All right. The weak side linebacker does not play. All right. He plays in base formations. So yes, Duke Riley was brought behind Deion Jones. Just educate yourself, people. That's it. I'm not saying this, all right? I'm not just saying this. I'm not making this stuff up. The Falcons play a ton of nickel, okay? They play a ton of nickel. They don't play a ton of base. And this year, teams have done a great job of getting the Falcons out of nickel to play base. How do they do that? They go to big sets to force guys like Duke Riley in, all right, and go at guys like uh, Vic Beasley, who's undersized. So yeah, that's what offenses have done to the Falcons defense this year. They've forced Falcons into base formations, and this is the reason why they have to get more beef up front, particularly beside Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle, to play alongside Grady Jarrett and have a defensive end who is capable of playing both base formations and nickel formations, man. All right? Look, people, the information is out there. All you have to do is just understand what the Falcons defense is. They play a ton of nickel, and the Falcons play cover three. And once you understand that, you will understand what I'm saying. Yeah, Duke Riley lost the starting position because he did not tackle well. All right, he could not communicate well. All right, and he's a backup. He is a backup. He's not a starter. Foye Olukun is a much better linebacker. All right, but we're not going to pretend like Duke Riley was brought here to be some all-pro linebacker. That's absolutely false. He was brought in to be a piece. No. Tay, what the hell are you talking about, bro? You say Tevin Coleman won the starting job? What starting job? He's never been the starting job for. He never had the starting job. Never. Never. Tevin Coleman has never won the starting job in Atlanta. Where are you people getting this stuff from, man? You really just said Tevin Coleman won the starting job? Tevin Coleman won the starting job. No, he's never won the starting job. He's always been the backup to Devontae Freeman. Even when it goes back to um, Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator with the Falcons. He named he named Devontae Freeman the starting running back. Okay, so no, Tevin Coleman was never the starting running back. I don't know where you get that from. He was never the starting. All right, Big Boss Vic Beasley is trash. He lacks heart. Again, man, it is what it is. That's your belief, and I'm not gonna come back that, man. Jarvis Williams, what's up, man? Yeah, Lenore Designs, man. These people have no clue what the Falcons' defense and their scheme is, so they kind of have a skewed um, idea and view of what players are supposed to do. Once you understand what the Falcons' scheme is, then you would know why I say that Vic Beasley isn't as bad as we let him out to be. All right, Desmond Trufant isn't as bad. Robert Alford isn't as bad as we make it seem to be. All right, no, they're not as bad. All right, the Falcons, despite what we think, the Falcons' defense was always flawed because they didn't have a lot of big guys up front to keep, the guys like Deion Jones, Desmond Trufant, Vic Beasley, those guys clean. You need big guys up front to keep those guys clean, man. And when you don't have that, and you don't have the proper depth, yeah, those guys are going to look even worse. This is why the Falcons are going to double up on defensive tackles this year because are they are really, 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 okay? They are really thin up front. Simple as that. They have to address that. They have to address that, and they will address that this year. Um, you can't be telling people they aren't real Falcons fans because they don't understand stupid cover three. No. I wouldn't necessarily say they're on real Falcons fan. I never said they weren't real Falcons fans. I said if you are a real Falcons fans, you have to understand and educate yourself on what a cover three is. There's a major difference with what I'm saying. Yeah, if you are real Falcons fans, if you truly love your team the way I think you do, you have to understand and educate yourself on what a cover three is. If you aren't interested on what the Atlanta Falcons defense of scheme is about, then to me you're not a real Falcons. You're a cheerleader, to be honest. That's basically what you are to me. Real Falcons fans educate themselves about what their team and what their players' strengths are. You should know what the Falcons scheme is if you're a Falcons fan. You should know what a cover three is if you are a Falcons fan. You should know what school, what Deion Jones and Julio Jones. Even you should know where Ron Schrader went. If you're a real Falcons fan, you should educate yourself. So yeah, you should know these things, man. The cover three, like I said, if you don't know what a cover three and what corner's responsibility is in a cover three, yeah, you're not a real Falcons fan. You're not a real football fan. You're a cheerleader. Real Falcons fans are real fans and know what the scheme is. They know what school. They know what the player did in 1922 or whatever the fuck. All right? We all know all of that. We know who Tommy Nobis is. We know who uh, Jamal Anderson, running back and defensive end. All right? We know Jesse Tuggle. We know Grady Jarrett, what school he went to. All right, we know all this. So if you're a real Falcons fan, you should educate yourself. Otherwise, you're a damn cheerleader. You're nothing more than a cheerleader if you have no idea what the Falcons scheme is. Some of you Falcons fans can't even tell you what the hell a 4-3 over is, a 4-3 under. No one, I know Falcons fans, they don't even know what a 34 is. A 46 scheme, a 4-4 scheme, a 3-3-5, a 4-2-5, even a 1-4-5. I know Falcons. So if you're a real Falcons fan, if you really, truly, honestly love your Falcons fans, as soon as you get off this live, you will go educate yourself about your team that you claim that you love so much. So yeah, if you don't know what a cover 3 is, yeah, you ain't a real fan to me, man. You're a cheerleader, and that's real. You don't have to like it, but that's the honest truth. You don't have to like it, but that's the honest truth, man. I go to every home game and some away. Trufant needs to work on his body language. He never in the huddle. Um, Trufant really doesn't need to be in the huddle. I mean, the defense don't really have a huddle, to be honest. Trufant, they have signs, all right? I don't know if you guys know this, but they have players on the sideline to dictate the type of coverage that they will be playing based on how the offense is coming out. So, for example, if the Saints come out in three receiver set, um, Dan Quinn is looking at the Saints huddle to see who's in the huddle, and based on how they come out of that huddle, they will look at Dan Quinn. They look at the designated defensive coordinator, designated person who holds up a sign, and they either hold up a sign or Dan Quinn. You see Dan Quinn pointing on the sideline, making these, doing these gyrations on the sidelines. He's dictating. He's sending the signal in to the corners, which coverage that they're playing. So he doesn't necessarily always have to be in the huddle. All right. So yeah, I have to clear that up. Cornerbacks and safeties, those guys don't necessarily have to be in the huddle. It's primarily for the defensive linemen and the linebackers to understand, um, because it's more so communication up front. All right. Yeah. Don't necessarily have to be in the huddle. Mussolini, Butler, Falcons will be top 5 if they get both Christian Wilkins and Lawrence. I think the Falcons definitely will be a top 5. They have the capability of being a top 5 defense if they shore up the defensive line. It's all about defensive line, man. They can improve the defensive line, stop the run, so they can apply more pressure alongside Grady Jarrett. And whatever they do with Vic Beasley, whether they trade Vic Beasley for an extra pick and get a defensive end and sign Bruce Irvin, yeah, Falcons defense can definitely be a top 10, top 5 defense, man. Well, Tay, if you don't care what I'm saying, it really doesn't matter. Falcons offense was good, but no offense. You can't be a successful team without a run game. Don't care what you say. We can keep going back and saying that's all. You can. I mean, it is what it is, man. You can have your thoughts, and it is what it is. You want to unsubscribe? That's on you, man. That's all you. But the fact of the matter, no team can be successful without an offensive running game. So a top, if you want to unsubscribe because you feel like the Falcons should be a better team because they had a offense, a top 10 offense, like, yeah, that's on you, man. Like I said, it's 1,400, almost 1,500 people. Losing one don't matter to me. All right, dictate, try to make you happy. All right, I'm here to put the content out so we can have a respectful dialogue and debate. And if you want to unsubscribe, you ain't hurting me, man. You ain't hurting me, player. It's all good. I do this for the love of my team. I'm not here to try to, make Tate Biggs feel good and try to, listen to and make him happy. Nah, I don't really give a damn about what Tate Biggs feels. All right, I'm not here to make him happy. I'm here to try to help Falcons fans have a place where we can talk Atlanta Falcons football in a respectful manner, and we don't have to always agree. I don't agree with everyone on here, and quite frankly, I give the damn if everyone agrees with everything I said. That shit irritates me. If you fucking agree with everything, I don't need yes men on this channel. Don't need yes men on this channel. Have your own personal opinion. All right, so go ahead. You can unsubscribe. Really don't give a shit. Luke MC, good shout out about Vic losing. About losing Vic to Tico. I mean, look, man. Tico does have value, but you're trying to tell me that a running back is more valuable than a defensive line? Your ass is absolutely crazy. Look, this will always be a defensive lead. It doesn't matter how great your offense is. We've seen this with the Falcons. It doesn't matter how great your offense is. You can have the number one scoring offense of all time. The Falcons have one of the greatest offenses in NFL history. And guess what? They couldn't get the job done because they did not have a good defense. They did not have a capable defense who can get stops. So it don't matter if you have a top 10 offense, top 5 offense, or even a defense that is number one of all time. If your offense, all right, if your defense can't make stops, doesn't matter how great your offense is. Simple as that. And that's the story of Matt Ryan's career. Matt Ryan has always been a consistent quarterback, always had one of the top offenses of all time. But if he can't get stops when it matters most, guess what? Yeah, don't matter, man. It don't matter. How you doing, man? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if your offense, all right, is top 5, top 1, or whatever. All right, doesn't matter. And we saw this year. I mean, we just looked at the Super Bowl. We just saw a Super Bowl. We just saw a Super Bowl where the Rams average about 33, 35 points a game. We just saw a Super Bowl where the Rams average 30 points all year, and they get into the Super Bowl, all right, and they can't score. Doesn't matter what you do all year, all right? You got to have a defense. You have to have a defense, and you have to have a running game. So people, all you guys are just so in love with big stats and big numbers of offense. Don't matter, man. None of that shit matters. If you don't have the defense to make stops, if you can't run the ball on offense, doesn't matter how many Julios you have on your team. All right, if you can't run the ball, you can't stop the ball, that shit is all for naught. So all that prissy stuff, all right, you want top 5 offenses. If you don't have a top 5 defense, all that crap don't matter, man. Luke MC, appreciate it, man. Designs, man, 34 and 46. Those are my defense, man. AJ Magna, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you subscribing. Oh, no. Keenan, man, look, I'm opinionated, man. I don't want anybody sucking me off. I don't want anybody agreeing with every damn thing that I have to say. I want everyone to have their own different opinion. Subscribe. If you subscribe to me because you agree with everything that I said, look, you can subscribe all you want to. Okay, I'm not making you subscribe, all right? But what I won't do is care if you subscribe because you disagree with what I'm saying. We all Falcons fans. We should be. We all Falcons fans. We all men and women. All right. We don't have to agree with everything each other says. You unsubscribe because you don't agree with what I'm saying, man. You act like a freaking child, man. Hey, Johnny Talk Sports, man. What's up, man? Johnny Talk Sports. If you guys, all right, go check out his channel, man. He does a ton of predictions and football, college, a lot of college predictions. I love his channel. Go subscribe to his channel, man. He got his mock draft 1.0. Please check that out. I highly recommend you guys check out his channel, man. Look, he does his homework. All right, he's another one of these guys I subscribe to, and I subscribed to a long time ago. Even we've came a long way. I remember I had like 100 subscribers and whatnot, and Johnny Talk Sports was one of my first YouTubers that I subscribed to, and I have good respect for him, man. Definitely have a lot of respect for him. But check him out, man. You guys, right now, if you're on, go check out Johnny Talk Sports right now. Subscribe to that channel, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I don't really care about if you want to come here and agree with everything I'm saying, man. Look, it is what it is. You can leave, man. Man, I'm trying to do my thing, Johnny, man. I'm trying to do my thing. I make it, you make it. Man, I am growing fast. I'm growing faster than I expected, man. I really did. Like I said, I appreciate you, man. You was one of my biggest supporters. I appreciate everything, even though we don't agree on everything, and you like to try to irritate me and troll me. It's all good, man. It's all love, man. It's all love, man. But I appreciate it. I truly appreciate everybody for tuning in to this live, man. If you guys don't have any more questions, your boy Mad Mike is going to call it, and I appreciate all right, a lunatic Falcon. As soon as I say that, a lunatic Falcon shows up. What's good, Pippin? Yeah, I'm all good. Everything's good, man. We got a couple of Falcons fans that didn't agree with what I said about Duke Riley. They want me to piss on Duke Riley. They want me to shit on. I refuse to shit on people, man. I don't want to shit on people. All right. They want me to shit on people. They want me to down our Atlanta Falcons. Say that they trash. All right. I don't do that. If I feel like a guy still have value to the team, I'm not gonna shit on this dude, man. All right. That's not what I do. I give my honest take on people, and that's what it is. So I have one less subscriber. I got one less subscriber today. He unsubscribed because he did not like my opinion, but it's all good, man. Hey, how you doing, buddy? You got that? What's that? That's yours? Oh man, that's good. Bye. Bye. Yeah, man. That's my little buddy, man. That's my little buddy right there. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for subscribing, man. Your boy, man, Mike is gonna call it. I'll have a couple of videos out today, man. But appreciate all the love, all the respect, and your boy, man, Mike is out, man. Peace.